going on?
Another
Celebrity deathmatch. All right.
Did you ever watch that show, Celebrity Deathmatch?
Not in like 1,000 years.
Well, what was that show even about, Celebrity Deathmatch?
About a bunch of claymation weird stuff.
It was claymation?
No, there was the real one. That's right.
I thought
there was like a cartoon one. Wasn't there a cartoon one? Yeah.
I think there was like a Seth Green. Seth Green did, what was that show? What was that show with all the toys?
Greg the Bunny?
Robot
Chicken. Yeah, there was probably a Robot Chicken one.
Oh, I'm sure. There was a Robot Chicken everything.
Deathmatch.
Hello? Hello? Last video store on the left. What? No, my refrigerator isn't running, but I appreciate the effort. Thanks for calling.
So, Celebrity Deathmatch, did they really fight to the death, I guess, is my real question.
Yeah, because their careers are dead.
Was that really it? Was it just
they
D-list
died
celebrities?
a horrible career death.
And they died a horrible
It was a
death.
precursor to all the weirdo reality shows when their careers dried up.
I feel like that's what that Celebrity Circus show was about. Remember when they did the circus acts? They would get up on like the trapeze and stuff.
I don't remember this.
You don't? It was like D-list, washed up.
I'm kind of glad I don't remember this.
Oh my God, it was a special.
In the 80s?
Into like the 2000s. I want to say they were still doing it in the mid-2000s.
Really?
Every few years. Yeah, they dress some celebrities up in a trapeze outfit. Toss them around with the elephants.
Oh,
Stick
funny.
their heads in a tiger's mouth.
Crazy. Hey, how's it going, my favorite people?
Oh, good morning, Mayor.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. A little worse for wear today. It's post New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve will do that to you.
Oh, God, I slept wrong or something. Oh,
You got a crick in your neck?
I got a crick in my body. My whole body's got a crick in it.
Oh, it smells like it.
Does it? Well, it might be what I'm drinking. As I picked this up the other day from somebody gave it to me. It's called a dumpster fire.
Oh, you mean the bottle that's inside of your paper bag?
My bag is called a dumpster fire. He told me it was ounces of gin, Cointreau, lime, lemon, and bitters.
Oh.
Now you don't. It's not agreeing with you.
Oh.
It's not agreeing with me. I think it gave me cricks in my body.
Yeah, I'd say you're lucky if it only gave you cricks in your body.
It gave me cricks in my liver.
Yeah, what's in that again? It's
Gin, Cointreau, lime, lemon, and bitters.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm gonna go use the latrine if you don't mind.
All right, Mayor. All right, Mayor.
Mayor, when you go back there, can you turn the AC off?
I'll turn the AC
It's
off.
awfully cold in here.
Okay, you.
Thank you.
Oh, Jerry. I mean, Johnny, it's a good thing you take care of us.
He's a sweetheart.
The mayor is. He's a good guy deep down inside of all those layers of dirty clothes.
And cricks.
Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. Wow, that drink today, though.
That's pretty good.
The look on your face.
Oh, man. Sometimes
Surprise!
I really feel like the liquor store just gives him whatever's left over. I don't think they put any effort into actually making drinks for him. I'm surprised they didn't just give him something non-alcoholic afternoon.
Well, you're not a very big gin person, so.
That's true. I don't really care for gin. It's 100% true.
Oh, boss, I went to the place and did the thing, and you don't have to worry about that red box anymore. So
Oh,
we're good.
fantastic.
We're good.
What did you tell the janitor to do?
We didn't say anything. There was no discussion about anything, but
Oh.
our business is secure.
It's nice to know.
Hello, how's it going?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the last video store on the left.
Well, howdy.
Howdy.
Well, what can we help you with
Yeah,
this morning?
What
Well,
brought you?
I'm missing home a little bit. Missing my truck driving husband. I don't know. Do you know the movie Over the Top?
Unfortunately, I do. Yes.
Is that the one where he takes the kid?
And there's arm wrestling and
Yeah.
This is the best movie ever.
Let's talk
And
about why that's the movie you're looking for. Like, is
Oh,
there
wait.
something-
Are you looking for that movie or?
something like that movie? Like, what is it about that movie that makes you want to watch it right now? That makes it feel like home?
Well, first of all, the sweat. I'm loving the sweat. But I also love the story with the daddy. You know, he just loves his son so much. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good thing to latch on to.
I feel like we might have something that's similar for
Yeah.
you, a little bit outside of the box. Maybe
But-
it's going to be a new experience for you, but it
I'm
still
up to
has
new experiences.
it has
You
like
know-
a mentor.
I'm not from
It
around here, in
does.
case you hadn't noticed.
Oh, that's fine. It's a melting pot, man. That's great. Well, you mentioned sweat. So I'm thinking, when I think of this movie, I think of sweat because it has to do with physical sweat, nervous sweat, all different types of sweat that could be happening. And he does have a mentor, like you
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah, a mentor. Okay.
So, and you know what? It's festive. It's New Year's. So we're thinking of a little New Year's vehicle. So we're going to go with 4 rooms for you.
Yeah.
4 rooms.
4
4 rooms.
rooms.
4 rooms.
1995. It's a 1995 film
All right.
starring Tim Roth. Tim Roth was really big in the mid 90s. I don't know if you remember Tim Roth.
I remember Tim Roth.
Yep. So he is.
I don't think he played a cowboy, but he's played some interesting roles.
Didn't he have a pumpkin?
A pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
He
And
did.
A honey
He-
bunny
yeah,
or something
he
like
did
that.
have a
He had
pumpkin. yeah. I think he was pumpkin.
He did play Pumpkin.
Yeah.
yeah.
See?
Very
That's
good.
how- He's in this movie.
He's
He
in
is.
it.
4 rooms.
And he is the one who's sweating his nuts off, for lack of a better word, because he's a brand new bellboy on New Year's Eve.
Well,
In
that
this-
sounds exciting and adventurous already.
Right.
In
And
an
he's-
old historic hotel.
Ooh, and it's old.
In Los Angeles.
And each of the 4 rooms is a different story in the movie. They're all
So there's 4 stories in a story of a
That's,
story.
that's right.
yes.
And
Yes.
he's the only bellboy working that night, and he's got to handle all of
I
it.
guess he's a busy boy.
He is a busy boy.
How many stories did the hotel have then?
A lot more than that.
It
you
actually
count
had.
them?
Do you know how many stories the hotel had? It's the Monsignor Hotel, and I can't remember how many exact stories.
Because there was the one where the guy upstairs, right? They make the phone calls to the guy
was
upstairs who
pretty
pukes
high.
out the window.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a high hotel.
And it was New Year's Eve. So I'm sure there was a lot of stories going on.
It's like a little Russian doll of stories.
Yeah. But we only get to see 4 of them. Yeah.
So I guess the catch with this movie is it's an anthology movie. So each story is told by a different writer director. And actually, a little bit of trivia: it was supposed to be 5 rooms. They're supposed to have 5 rooms.
Oh, wow.
And the 5th story was supposed to be directed by Richard Linklater of Slacker fame. And there's people getting arrested outside of our video store right now, so it's kind of distracting.
Yeah, I'm glad the mayor's inside.
Oh,
Thank God he's inside.
sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah.
Is Richard Linklater related to Art Linklater?
Oh, the Craftmatic beds? Maybe.
Oh, that's
how he got
funny.
his funding.
I
And then he did Dazed and Confused.
I'm just curious.
I always
All right.
wondered why Linklater was such a familiar name, and I thought it was just because I just knew him in my brain, but it's because of the bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm Art
wow.
Linklater with Craftmatic beds.
Holy
Craftmatic
cow.
adjustable beds, actually.
Interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Well, they have to be related. That's not like a common name, right?
You would think so.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines.
Yep.
Like Amy Schumer and Chuck Schumer are related.
What?
Yeah, Amy Schumer and Chuck Schumer.
Oh,
he's
wow.
her uncle or great uncle.
You didn't expect to get this
or
kind of
something?
information coming in.
What?
Yeah, welcome to the last
What in the
video store.
sound?
On the left.
Nepo babies.
Oh no! Can we talk about Nepo babies?
No, we can talk about 4 rooms.
No, I want to talk about who coined it. Who was the first one that said Nepo baby? And I hate to say it, but I agree with Emma Roberts. Well, I think it was Emma Roberts who said it might not have been. It might have been somebody else. No, it was Johnny Depp's kid who said that it happens to women worse than it happens to men, being called Nepo babies. Mm-hmm. Name a boy it's happened to. Jaden Smith. There you go. I did it for you. but nobody's calling him a Nepo baby.
You just did.
No, because I did, but nobody else is.
Trust me, people have called that whole family out
Oh,
for
that-
riding Will's
Yeah.
coattails.
That whole family.
Both of the kids have been called that.
Oh man, did you watch Gotham? Speaking of that family, did you watch Gotham? Jada Pinkett Smith was like a bad guy on that show.
Yeah, she definitely was chewing up some scenery, being so over the top.
It was crazy. Anyway, 4 rooms. I apologize.
Wow.
4 rooms.
So 4 rooms is 4 different stories, and the whole like chain is held together by Tim Roth's bellboy character, because he's the one on the old timey
Patching little telephone
Like,
system.
yes, you grab the
like a
like-
switchboard.
Switchboard. There you go. Yay.
I know that about them.
Thank you. What's your name?
Charlene.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Charlene.
Charlene.
I
You're
appreciate that. I
Anytime.
appreciate
Well,
it.
even though we love Tim Roth, the role was actually originally written for Steve Buscemi. Can you imagine that?
What?
It's very strange. I know. Can you, once you see this movie, think about that as Tim Roth instead of Tim Roth, Steve Buscemi. I cannot do that.
I mean, I would imagine he would definitely, there'd be a lot more fucks and there'd be a lot more aggro happening, maybe.
I suppose they both have funny teeth.
They
Yes.
do.
I know about that too.
They do. So there's a lot of other famous people from the 90s in this movie. Madonna, Ione Sky.
Which, yeah. who?
Ione Sky.
Ione
So you see
Sky.
her boobs in the first one.
Oh.
Puss in Boots, Antonio Banderas.
Oh yeah, let's break it down by each story. The first story is about a bunch of witches. The
Ooh.
first story is about a bunch of witches with their cauldron in the honeymoon suite.
No, that's the last one. Oh, I think, the last
no,
one.
they're in the honeymoon.
Oh, they're
suite
on the
because
honeymoon
they have
suite.
the big cauldron.
He's in the penthouse, the
Yeah,
last one.
The last one's in the penthouse.
Valerina Galino, who was huge in the late 80s and early 90s. She was in Hot Shots Part 1 and 2.
Who directed that
Oh.
one? Who directed the first story?
That was Allison Anders.
What else did Allison?
Was
Alice-
she in Rain Man?
Yes, Valerina
She was in
Galino.
Rain Man.
Yes, was very nice, Charlene.
Good job, Charlene. You must be a
thanks.
cinephile.
That's great. You came to the right place.
I watched a flicker too.
She said flicker.
Allison
Flicker,
Anders.
I don't even know her.
Wow. Allison Anders actually did one of my favorite indie films from the 90s called Gas, Food, and Lodging with Ione Sky, actually. It was really good.
Who
Ione
else was in
Sky.
that?
Gas, Food, and Lodging. No, not Michael Pena. Somebody similar.
Like
But-
the pasta.
Yeah, but it wasn't him.
Like penne pasta?
Right? That's what I'm
Is
thinking.
That's
that
funny.
the guy from Ant-Man?
Michael Pena is, but he
that
wasn't in
tells the
this.
stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big old sino. But I can't talk about that.
You sure can't.
Nope. Clearwater. He has friends in Clearwater.
That's what we should say.
So,
He's friends with
Oh.
Clearwater.
Yeah.
what are these witches? What are these witches
Oh,
making a big?
I'm
like,
sorry. No,
you-
we
you
totally
left
got
me hanging.
sidetracked. We totally got sidetracked. Well, Madonna's one of the witches.
What?
Yeah, Madonna. And
Madonna.
who's the other lady who was in everything back then? The dark-haired lady who was in House on Haunted Hill. House on Haunted Hill.
Lily Taylor.
Lily Taylor.
Lily Taylor.
In it.
She was in Ransom. She was in what's the one with High Fidelity?
Is she the one that she's
Chucky?
got like really, really fighting spirit? She's always like,
Yeah,
yeah.
tough. She's a tough broad.
Firuza Balk was actually in Gas, Food, Lodging.
Wow, as like an 8-year-old.
And Jacob Vargas is the gentleman I'm thinking of that was in that, and he was in Traffic. So I'm digressing because that's not the movie
yeah,
we're
Allison
talking about.
Anders.
You,
Wait a minute.
you asked me.
Is this the third room or the?
No, this has nothing to do with nothing. This is the director of the first room. Directed whatever he just went down the
Yeah.
route. You have to forgive him. He does this.
You asked me, jerk. So I'm going to tell you. Alicia Witt, who was in
Oh
the
yeah,
90s,
Alicia Witt.
She was in, a bunch of
Cecil
stuff.
B. Demented, which was a fantastic. What's his name?
John Waters.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Waters. It was a great John Waters flick.
America's gay uncle.
Oh my God, he really is. And I just love how he's such an advocate for Baltimore because Baltimore is
Oh,
probably
he's-
terrible.
All about Baltimore.
I
Yeah.
know, but apparently there was a scene. There's always been a scene in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Billy
Well, a lot of his-
Joel has nothing on John Waters.
That is
Yeah,
so
a lot of his
funny.
films were filmed in Baltimore.
I think they're
Yeah.
All
They
filmed,
all-
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he always talks about how that's his big deal is Baltimore,
Yeah.
and that it's his hometown, and how he grew up on the gay side of town. But I mean, that's what Hairspray, right? When they went over to, parts of town you're not supposed to be in.
Like Rhinestone Cowboys.
What's a rhinestone cowboy?
Isn't that a movie too?
You know
Yes.
that movie.
I do,
Yeah.
but aren't they a thing? It's not called rhinestone cowboy for no reason. Like a rhinestone cowboy has to be a thing, right? Like what is a rhinestone cowboy?
I don't know. You should watch the movie and find out.
It's a gussied up cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
With rhinestones.
It's
Right.
a fancy, so it's not a real cowboy. It's like a show pony.
Wow. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's in room number 2?
Room number 2 is actually one of my favorite rooms. I would say room number 2 and 3, they're kind of connected a little bit in a weird way, but they're very fun. Number 2 is called The Wrong Man. And there is this guy who is a character actor. You probably have seen his face. His name's David Proval. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in like a bunch of gangster movies. He was probably in like Goodfellas, and he was in Monster Squad. And he just has one of those faces.
Oh,
You're like,
one of those guys that you always go, oh, it's that guy.
That
'Cause
guy.
Yeah, he's in everything.
Yeah, so it's that
he's
guy.
one of those guys.
and Jennifer Beals from Flashdance fame. Yeah. And
God
she's,
rest in peace.
no, she's still around. She did not
I was
die.
thinking Irene Cara. Sorry.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, she did the song. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going. But Jennifer Beals, and it's just that, and they deal with Ted, and it's hilarious. He comes in, and they think he's cheating.
Ted is the bellboy.
Ted's
Ted
the
is
bellboy.
Tim Roth.
Ted's
that
Tim
would
Roth.
be vital information for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
you got it.
yeah, Ted.
Gotta
So who
follow
directed
this
the
here.
second one?
Second one was Alexander Rockwell, and this whole thing was his idea.
Was he related to Sam Rockwell?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or how
Maybe.
about Norman Rockwell?
Probably. I hope. Maybe. I'm hoping the Nepo stuff is reaching its pinnacle right now.
I wonder if every Rockwell ever is related to each other. It's not a very
Right.
common name either. Like I'd like to know their family tree. So
He's on the Metro Police.
he's part of the circus that's happening outside of our video store
He's
right
on the
now.
calendar.
Oh man, if y'all only could, if you could
Ladies.
only see what we see out the front window of the store.
And gentlemen.
It is still New Year's, so it's the safest thing to do is just watch a movie and be inside.
Yeah, or listen to this.
Or listen to us wax poetic about
So
nepotism.
what's the second room about?
It's the wrong man, right?
It's the wrong man. Yeah, they think
Missed
they
that.
have this
Wrong guy.
weirdo kind of psychosexual thing, as it's described in the film, where he thinks that some guy's always cheating on his wife, and
So his wife's always cheating on him with some guy.
right,
But he has a
Oh.
heart condition, and so
and there's a lot of very subtle and not subtle, like homoeroticism. Like he might be gay, but we don't know, but it's possible. It's so weird, and just the actors seem
He
to have a
has-
really good time doing
he has the girl tied up,
it. Right.
right? Aren't they both tied
No,
up?
so Ted walks in this room thinking it's another room, and a gun gets pointed in his face. Jennifer Beals is tied to a chair, and David Proval has no pants on, and he wants to know why the bellboy is cheating with his wife. So it's
so the bellboy is the wrong man.
he's the wrong man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's a case of mistaken identity. But he has a gun pointed in his face, and there's a woman tied to a chair. Then,
Is that supposed to be the guy's wife?
yes,
Yeah,
it is.
that's his
That's
wife.
his wife because he's
Okay.
tied her up because he thinks she's cheating. But then he starts talking to her, but she's in on it somehow. Like it is. It's some kind of weird sex game.
she's in on it like it's happened a lot. Like this isn't the first time this has happened. This happens all the time. So it's just like a routine for them, which is hilarious. And then Ted just kind of manages to make it through this in the weirdest way possible. So it's pretty funny.
Does he go by Ted in the movie or Theodore?
He goes by Ted. He does not
Okay.
want to be called Theodore.
Okay.
and they keep calling him Theodore.
Right.
And
He looks
so
like a Theodore.
Well,
he does.
they get in a big fight. They bond over their dumb names.
Who does?
Him and the guy with the gun.
The wrong man guy is Siegfried.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't like to be called Siegfried, and Ted hates being called Theodore. So it's a kind of nice little funny,
Right.
weird moment.
They do the tiger thing, right? Siegfried and Roy.
They do.
Right?
I think one
did.
of them got mauled by a tiger. I don't know if they're still
I
around.
don't think any of them are around anymore, but
Yeah, good call though. So yeah, and it's funny because Tim Roth's weird speech impediment or lisp or whatever he's got. And when he gets really mad and starts screaming about "Don't call me
God.
Theodore," it is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
He has one of those characters. I feel like that it's hard to at first when you're watching it, it's hard to kind of be like, it's hard to like it. You don't know whether or not you like the guy. You don't know whether or not you can sit through 2 hours or an hour and a half of watching this character. But then slowly it kind of like you kind of warm up to him a little bit. I don't know if that's just because it was. I think that the beginning was different than the middle. I think the middle they had established this guy much better. In the beginning, it was like a different day or something, and I don't know. It was just a weird intro.
Yeah, it's weird how they like put the stories together.
I would say I would say it's a zany movie. It's a very zany film.
Yeah.
In terms of this character.
So
He's very animated.
Yeah.
oh, so that was
Yeah.
one. It starts out too like it's like 90s, like late 80s, early 90s when they used to do the cartoon like
Title
credits.
sequence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
title sequence. in
Which is
movies.
really fun. I really
Saul
missed that.
Bass.
What?
What's that?
Saul Bass.
Saul Bass is
Saul
the
Bass.
artist.
He did tons of
Yeah.
intros for
Yeah.
movies.
Pink Panther.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
probably who's that
Just
girl?
tons of them.
Yeah, there was Who's That Girl? There was Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
That's right.
Oh.
Lover Boy. In the early 90s, there was just, I feel like there was just a lot more creativity and freedom that happened. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, but at least it was original and fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's boring as shit.
It all looks the same. But so that story is pretty good because nobody dies, right? Nobody dies in that story.
Well, nobody dies in any of the stories.
That's true. You sort of expect it in a
So
couple
nobody
of them.
dies in the witches.
No one dies in The Witches, but it's just weird. And I don't know. The Witches one's okay. It's not bad.
But nobody dies with the wrong man.
No. You think they might. And maybe in the end, who knows? Something might happen because it does end on a cliffhanger. And then that brings us to Room 3, which is without a doubt, without question, the best in the film.
So this is when Rodriguez.
This is when Robert Rodriguez takes over. So Robert Rodriguez of Spy Kids and Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Director. He's a director.
Writer-director. He takes over and does this. He actually, coincidentally, he got the idea for Spy Kids doing this short.
So each one of them has a different title, right? Right. The Wrong
Okay.
Man was the second one. This one's called The Misbehaviors.
Ooh, that one sounds fun.
And it is the best. It's the
Best.
best.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's the best of all four stories, if you ask me.
Those kids,
The Misbehaviors.
Yeah.
the misbehaviors, the titular misbehaviors.
That's easy for you to say.
Well, and it was
They're
just
awesome.
like the pinnacle of like sexy Banderas, like sexy
Right.
Antonio Banderas. And he's maybe in that scene for 5 minutes. Maybe. He maybe has 3 or 5
Yeah.
minutes of screen time in that whole.
He totally
scene.
owns it. He totally owns it.
And each scene's maybe 20 minutes long.
Yeah, about. And him and Rodriguez did this because they came right off of directing Desperado and did this. So they were already like really good working together. And it didn't take them long, I'm sure. So compared to a whole movie. But he's great. He comes in that and he just owns that whole film.
So he's obviously some kind of gangster. It's New Year's Eve, and him and his wife are going out. They want to leave the kids in the room because the kids are annoying. They're probably 8 and 5, 8 and 6, 6 and 10.
Yeah, maybe I would say 7. I would say 8 and 10.
Okay.
8 and 10.
I certainly know about annoying kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
bet-
you do,
I bet
Charlene.
Charlene.
So Antonio Banderas' character pays Ted the bellboy to be at their beck and call. If the
Oh.
kids make
He's
sure they
like-
go to bed.
He's been promoted from bellboy to butler.
Babysitter.
Babysitter.
Both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's mad about it, but Antonio Banderas' character is giving him lots of money to do it.
Oh, and what do you do when you get money?
So the
Yeah.
kids take advantage of the situation and keep calling Ted for every little thing.
Oh.
And Ted had brought champagne to the room for the parents, so there's a champagne cart in there, and the kids keep smelling something gross.
They think it's each other's feet. It's something gross. They don't know what it is.
They find a needle they find like a heroin needle or something. Like
Right on top of the Gideon's Bible.
Yeah, like in the drawer in the hotel room. And so they call Ted. What is this needle doing here? Blah, blah, blah. It's no needle. They find their mom's red lipstick. They're drawing a like
Dartboard on
a
the painting.
dartboard on the painting in the room to play darts with the needle.
I don't know. How
wow.
much more of the misbehavior should we talk about? I feel like if you haven't seen it,
Oh
I don't
my
want to
God.
ruin anything for you.
Okay, it's just really
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. We don't want to ruin it because it is.
Movie's 25 years old.
It's 25 years old.
Whoa.
But a lot of people haven't seen it.
Shut
You
up.
say the 4 rooms, and people are like, what? I missed that one. So
well. Just let's not. We won't tell her what the smell is. You have to watch it to figure out what the smell is.
All right, keep me in suspense.
Yeah.
But, needless to say, the kids misbehave, and Ted does his best to try to keep them in check, but he can't because he's inept and he's silly. And scary Mexican gangster guy comes back and catches them in all sorts of shenanigans, and it's hilarious, and it's just perfectly
Why he gotta be
executed.
Mexican? Why can't he be
Because
Spanish?
he is!
No, he isn't. He's from Spain.
In the movie, he's Mexican. He
How do
calls
you
him a scary Mexican gangster dude. It's
Oh.
literally from the film.
All right. Just want to make sure you weren't just,
Being racist?
No,
Thanks.
just making him his character from Desperado. Because
Oh,
he wasn't
he is Mexican.
necessarily the guy from Desperado.
He could have
right?
been. He's never named.
Okay, true. All right. Then the last room we come to, it's the penthouse, directed by our friend Quentin Tarantino.
And this was the last one. And Quentin Tarantino, side note, if you didn't know, if you've been living under a rock your whole life, or you were born after this movie or the same time, Tarantino was massive. He was huge at this time. So big. So, obviously, he's going to be the last room. And
Yeah. And it was a time when they were letting him, he still thought he could be his own actor, his own best actor. He thought he could direct himself.
I thought I saw him in something else. Yeah, he likes to. I've seen him.
Yeah, and yeah, he directed himself in Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
But
he was good in Pulp Fiction. He was good
better-
in Reservoir Dogs.
He was better in Pulp Fiction than he was in
Well,
Four Rooms.
Because, okay, so improvisers should be improvisers and actors should be actors. And the problem with this is you open it up in this scene and the first 10 minutes is uncut, one shot, ad-libbed. A lot of, I don't think a lot of it was scripted. And an improviser.
And it's Tarantino just rambling
he-
on and
he is not an
on
improviser.
about movies and actors and shit that nobody cares about.
And it's so fucking painful. Oh my God. It's really.
So you're saying I don't want to go to the penthouse?
But it's good because it's like it's painful, but the payoff, the end of that story,
It's all
payoff
about
at
the
the end
payoff.
of that story.
You
We
sit,
like
you,
payoff.
you sit through it for the ends, is what you do.
You really do.
All right.
You sit through it for
And
the
Bruce
work.
Willis is actually really good.
Yeah,
Actually.
Bruce Willis is in it.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Bruce Willis, and you got me back to that sweat and
So
stuff.
I know. Hey, there you go. You can sweat for Bruno. But Bruce Willis wasn't credited in this film because it was some kind of Actors Guild thing where it was because I don't know. I can't remember what it was. It was like because he was ad-libbing his lines or something weird.
Because Robert Rodriguez isn't in the guild.
No, I forgot why Bruce Willis. He was not credited because he violated SAG rules.
He didn't get paid for it or something.
Oh, yeah,
He didn't
he-
want to
he-
get paid for
He
it.
did it as a favor for no money, so he couldn't
Mm.
use his name.
Yeah. So they didn't let him get credited for it.
It's like charity.
It was a favor for Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Well, that's awfully nice of him.
No,
And
they're
it's like,
buddies.
it has like those Tarantino moments where I feel like if he had not put himself in it and given that role to Eric Stoltz, what if Eric Stoltz had been that
Eric
character?
Stoltz would have been amazing.
Would have been amazing.
But Tarantino had the.
Buscemi.
or
Steve
Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi. Exactly.
So
Like,
the last one is called The Man from Hollywood. So obviously Tarantino has to play the man from Hollywood, and he's just.
oh, and he goes on and on about Cristal and how great
Ugh,
Cristal
it's like a champagne, and
is.
it's dated and weird, and it's just.
Oh, it's weird.
It's rough. It's rough.
But
Wait.
the payoff is still great.
Tarantino made a weird
I know.
movie.
Yes. Yes, he did. Tarantino made a weird movie.
His next movie is just going to be two ladies' feet, and he's going to project the movie onto them.
That's right. That's awesome.
Don't tease me.
Because in that scene, who has bare feet? Jennifer Beals hanging out barefoot.
Yep, on in a robe.
Creepy weirdo.
Yeah,
just
he
saying.
loves a robe too.
He loves a
Giant
robe.
melon head.
He doesn't have a giant melon head.
Yeah,
His shoulders,
he does.
yeah, but his shoulders are broad. He got some weird, like Frankenstein shoulders.
How you gonna keep
So-
up that giant melon head?
It's true.
So
That is
also,
true.
also, if you didn't know, Tarantino's got a little bit of a foot fetish. If you didn't,
yeah. In
pick it up.
case you weren't aware, in
In case you didn't watch any of his
Yeah,
films.
because you were
Right,
paying
if you
attention to
didn't-
any Tarantino film ever.
You didn't get my context clues.
Ah.
So this came out in '95, and Steve Buscemi was supposed to be in it. Did he do Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead instead? Didn't that come out in '95?
That came out in like '95 or '96.
Okay.
Was Buscemi was in that? Yeah, he was Mr. Shush. That's right.
Maybe
But
had
he
a
was
conflict.
also in Desperado. Speaking of Desperado, he was in that with Rodriguez
Oh,
and yeah,
Yeah, and Cheech. Right?
and
When did that
Cheech.
Fargo
Yeah,
movie come out?
which one?
Fargo.
That was '96.
Why was he in Fargo?
Oh my
Steve
god.
Buscemi?
Buscemi was
Oh,
like
yeah,
carried
duh.
the film. Yeah.
That's a,
I'm sorry, I've
We
never.
see so many movies.
I
It all
know,
blends
Right.
It
together.
does.
especially
Right
the
now they're all
Coen
blurred
Brothers
together.
movies. They just blend together.
Did they do the movie with the Siamese twins? I know that's not.
That was the Fairley
That's the
Brothers.
Fairley Brothers.
Okay, I get the brothers
Oh.
mixed up.
The beginning of that movie, the first half of that movie, stuck on you. Oh my god, the first half of that movie is absolutely gut busting, and I can't stand the Fairley Brothers because they're the ones who did Dumb and Dumber. That's them, right? And Mary, come in her hair, Mary. What's her?
something
Yeah.
about Mary.
Yeah,
Didn't they do the bowling one too?
that one's
Oh,
good.
Kingpin's
That's
great.
pretty
Okay.
good.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kingpin's pretty good. So that's the difference in those two guys.
And they
right?
also did the remake, the one with Ben Stiller and
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun,
yeah,
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
the Heartbreak Kid. It's hilarious. I love the Heartbreak Kid.
You
I thought
lost
it.
me at Ben Stiller.
I'm sorry.
Janitor, you don't like Ben Stiller?
I was the biggest fan of the Ben Stiller show
Yeah.
on Comedy Central.
It was
but
great.
His
After that-
movies, though.
Oh man.
I met a guy who was I met a famous writer from the Ben Stiller show
In
this
New
past
York.
weekend in New
Pretty
York.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Shout-
not even a joke. Yeah.
Just recently, for real.
Yeah. for
Shout
real.
out to Dino Stampanopoulos,
Yeah, exactly.
aka Starburns,
he
Or
was
my
a
na-
writer on the Ben
or
Stiller
Alex
show.
Osborne.
Oh, I forgot his last name.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Excuse me.
So if you could arrange the rooms in a different order, would you?
What order would they be?
I don't
From
know,
best
that's what
from
I'm
best.
asking.
If I could, I just take out Quentin's. I mean, I
I'd
don't know.
recast
Good
it.
one.
I
It's
like
okay.
it.
It's all right. Yeah.
I like it. It's the casting that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the casting.
On
So
all
m-
of them, or
the ma-
just that one?
The
No,
Madonna
they're all
one,
cast pretty well.
The Madonna one.
Yeah, it's pretty.
She drags everything.
What?
down.
Madonna's a great actress.
She's okay.
That story isn't that
She
strong.
know the
Her
problem. The
story
problem with
isn't very
Madonna is
strong.
she knows she's Madonna, and I feel like, especially with this film,
Because she's Madonna.
right?
She's in a latex dress. She's in this like latex
Like Madonna
mermaid
does.
dress.
Exactly.
So I feel like it could have been written and directed better. No offense.
The
to
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one drags a lot, and you're like, why am I watching this? And then you get to the wrong man,
Yes.
and it's better. It's peppier. I probably would have started off with the wrong man.
Yeah, but you need some kind of context for Theodore. You need
True.
Ted, and Ted gets seduced by the witches. Ted gets seduced.
Okay, he gets seduced by the
So
witches.
then you feel sorry for him.
Kinda.
It kind of
It's a weird night. It's an off-putting
Okay.
night.
And
See,
but the first thing that happens to him is he gets laid, right? So I mean, if you're gonna start your weird night out,
right, you might as well get laid.
yeah, might as well start it out with some stranger sex.
But I feel like this all builds up to the moment right before they go to the penthouse for the Hollywood guy. Because right after he gets almost killed by the Mexican gangster guy and he has the horrible night with the misbehaviors, he gets on the phone to the hotel manager, and there's a hilarious scene between him and the remnants of the party that just happened where he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I
oh,
quit.
and Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin's the owner of the
she has
hotel.
yeah,
Oh,
She's in
that curly hair, redhead lady.
That's
Yeah.
right.
She's funny.
She is.
she is funny.
And Marissa Tomei plays a stoner, and she's hilarious.
Yeah, she basically just plays the stoner from Pulp Fiction.
Right, with lines.
Yeah,
Or Brad Pitt's character from
From True Romance.
Yeah.
I know the
Yeah.
honeybee.
yep, exactly. Oh, that's funny.
So a funny another piece of trivia is that all the characters passed out in the apartment that Marissa Tomei and Kathy Griffin are at are all video store archives employees that Quentin worked with when he was a video store clerk.
Funny.
Well, that's a fun little.
Yeah, right?
That's
Detail.
nice.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
But
He's
that's-
nice to his friends.
He
I,
is.
I feel like that movie was just such an epitome of the year it was made.
Oh,
Like, it was
absolutely.
just such a
Yeah.
All over
cross
the place.
section of
Basically.
1995.
You don't think he was flexing?
He's what?
He
Flexing?
was flexing?
He
For
was.
his- for his
Absolutely
friends?
flexing.
What, for his video store friends?
Just in general.
Co-workers.
Yeah,
They're not
okay.
necessarily friends.
Oh my god.
I'll put you in a movie.
Oh my god.
I can do that now.
Well, we say that to you all the time. Oh.
Is it the first one where they play the Rambo video game?
No, that's the scene I'm talking about where
Okay.
he
Rambo.
freaks out and he calls Kathy Griffin. Griffin.
Griffin.
And he wants to quit.
Peter Griffin.
And Marissa Tomei is stoned with her friends and they're playing.
Rambo.
So it's
Rambo.
the
Rambo.
it's
So you
towards
got-
the end. It's the
You
bump.
got another sweaty man.
Well, that's Sylvester Stallone, right? And he's in over,
Over the top.
Oh my
Boom.
goodness!
Full circle. We did it.
Oh,
Perfect rental.
Oh,
I'm
this is
so excited about this here movie now.
that's good.
And it's interesting, and the janitor brought this up to me, is that, and I did see it, is that when they're playing the video game, and only super nerds are going to get this, I apologize, ladies.
super nerds.
But they're playing both versions of the Nintendo game. They're playing the Nintendo Rambo, and then at one point they're playing the Sega Genesis Rambo. Both completely different games.
who are?
Well, you mentioned also
Marissa Tomei.
cliffhanger earlier because you said one part
I
of these
said
was
there was a
That made me
cliffhanger.
think of another.
Stallone.
I'm thinking I might
It's a lot
be a
of-
Sly fan.
Yeah, it's a lot of 6 degrees of Sylvester Stallone is what we're playing right now.
The first time I ever got drunk, Cliffhanger was on in the hotel room. I puked my guts out.
Oh man.
Oh, especially because
Twice.
you're looking over those cliffs.
Those stains are still on that carpet.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Ew.
They ain't never coming out.
Oh my god.
Ew.
What were you drinking?
Whatever. Whatever they gave me.
The first time that happened to me, Walmart had these horrible knockoff brands of soda. And it was Dr. Thunder, which is supposed to be Dr. Pepper. And I
Yeah.
mixed that with rum, and that was a
Oh.
bad
Ooh.
idea. And I put it in a water bottle, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh
It
man.
was a bad night, kids.
Oh
Sorry.
man.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
I thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Charlene, would you?
What?
What do you think about the
What-
movie so far? What?
Well, what was your first drunk experience?
Charlene's first drunk experience. Oh, good lord. Shoot. Well, being a preacher's kid and all.
Imagine Boone Hill was involved.
Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm.
Yeah, Strawberry
Wine
Hill.
coolers.
Right? Wasn't it?
Wine coolers.
Wine coolers.
Bartles and James.
Yep. I think it
Yeah.
must have been about the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Speaking of the '90s,
Yeah, exactly. Right. Remember those old coots, Bartles and James, sitting
Oh,
on their
yeah.
front
Oh, yeah.
porch?
Oh, yeah.
I loved Bartles and James.
Yeah, Peach.
Them and Spuds McKenzie.
Oh, hey now. Yeah.
I got the Bartles and James Pina Colada. Yeah.
What?
The peach one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
That
was
peach
good.
was just tasty.
Yep, I liked the orange one too. There was an orange one that was
So
really good.
let's go full circle again. Who did a commercial for wine coolers? Seagram's wine coolers.
It
And
was,
they sang a song. He sang a song.
is Bruno.
It was Bruno. Bruce Willis did Seagram's wine coolers
Oh.
commercials in the 90s.
Why
'Cause
didn't he have a band or something?
he was a musician. I actually have an album of Bruce Willis doing stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
He,
He did
had
a-
an album.
Yeah, he had an album, but he played blues shows all over New York and everywhere.
Yeah. She's like the wind.
No, that's Patrick Swayze.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
Good-
funny
that
because
was
that
a
was the other
jam.
movie
It was
I
a
was
jam.
thinking about renting was Roadhouse, and you mentioned
Oh.
Patrick Swayze.
Sweaty Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, there is a cauldron in the beginning of this movie, and the ladies do get in it. They get in the cauldron.
Can you explain that scene? Like why?
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to bring back. I don't know. That scene is very
Yeah.
confusing. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any fucking sense.
Is it a really fancy
There's
bath?
a witch who was murdered or something, and she was their leader, but hundreds of years ago, I guess she was either murdered or she was entombed and whatever, and they're trying to bring her back to life. Is what's
Is this
happening.
historically accurate?
I
Kinda-
Yeah, I don't think it's historically
I don't know about
accurate.
that.
Okay.
Is that the boss?
Yeah,
It's the boss.
it's the actual mayor.
It's the other mayor.
It's the real mayor.
Hi,
As
Mayor.
opposed to our friend who's still in the bathroom.
You want to make that distinction now.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Not our fake one that we have in our show.
What are you
Oh.
talking about?
I know. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
our
I
video
didn't-
store.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Where
Sometimes
did you meet that mayor?
Outside.
he
No,
hangs
the
out.
one that makes
Came
your
in one day.
drinks. That
Yeah, he just comes in.
Yeah, he came in one day.
We don't ask questions, man. He just comes in and goes out, and he seems nice enough.
Yeah, seems like a nice guy. Shares his cocktails with us.
That's the great thing about Last Movie Store on the left is you never know who's going to come in.
You never
Never know.
know. So true. Maybe one day we'll
trademark.
have somebody famous come
Maybe.
in. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe Sly Stallone will visit one day.
Maybe Starburns will come in.
Yeah, maybe. Fingers crossed.
He'll phone in from New York City.
Charlene,
yes,
I really I appreciate your willingness to experiment with your film choices. Maybe think outside the box a little.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hi, Mildred. I didn't know if you were going to make it in this
Happy
week.
New Year, dolls. How you all doing?
Good. I'm glad to see you made it through the new year.
Oh, it was a tough one. It was a busy, cold year, but I made it.
It's so loud this New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
It was so loud. There was so many firecrackers going off.
When did that happen?
I don't know. It's weird. You know, I remember Christmas being the quietest night of year. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's got to go crazy and light off machine guns or something. It's weird.
Yeah, Silent Night, Holy Night, huh?
Not anymore.
No.
It's so strange. And you know, my grandson, God bless him, he's one of those crazy people out there lighting off those firecrackers.
The 13-year-old?
You know,
Or the 31
Or the 31-year-old?
yeah, he's a little bit older, but he still likes the crazy Roman candles and all the Cracker Jacks. I don't know what there are. I just figured I'd go back in there and see if there's anything for me to snuggle up with, you know.
Well, have you ever seen a movie called Over the Top?
I haven't. What is this over the top? Is it an angel movie? I love movies about angels.
You could say he's a sort of angel.
Is he?
Yeah, maybe to an 8-year-old.
Okay, well, maybe my grandson would like it.
You know what? I think your grandsons would like that movie.
You know, let me go back and I'll look around and see what you got back there.
All right, Mildred. Don't take too long. We were thinking about cutting out early today.
Okay, doll.
Yeah, back to the 90s. How come Jim Jarmusch didn't do a room?
I know the name, but who is he?
He did a lot of weird films in the 90s. They were good. They were good films. He did
They were
Dead Man
depressing. I was being
with
sarcastic.
Johnny. Yeah, he didn't do a movie
Okay.
because
He was
nobody would have
depressing.
stuck around.
No, it would have been over.
What if David Lynch did one of the rooms?
I think that would be the surprise would be that David Lynch actually directed this whole thing, and that none of the directors actually directed it.
Or he pulled the strings,
Right.
and they didn't even realize.
Right.
He
Or-
He
pulling
was
the
directing
strings.
us?
Or it wouldn't have made any sense at all, and there would have been no talking, and it just would have been trumpets.
Yeah,
Or like a crying baby, like
yeah. And the,
6 buildings
Right.
over.
In a room, there's just a guy who like can't stop hearing all the things in the hotel, and
He's trying to sleep.
yeah, exactly. And no matter what he does, like the noises, each one will start penetrating through, right? And it's like down the hall, it's the baby, it's someone's yappy dog.
Water dripping.
Yeah, yeah, it's the party upstairs.
and then Kyle MacLachlan shows up
with a piece of pie.
and some coffee and says something ominous, and then everything just disappears and comes out of a paper bag or something.
It's like, I'm Duke Atreides. And then
That's it.
cut to black. Like a Spike Lee movie.
Right. And a lone eyeball out of its socket drops on the carpet, and then that's it. Sorry, David Lynch, you're weird.
Has anyone seen my hairbrush?
Oh,
Sorry.
one of the better movies he's done.
It is. That was one of the better movies he's done. Oh, sorry, Charlene. That was
Yeah,
went
we're
down a-
going on.
we-
This
movie
happens.
was
Yeah,
that?
we're
Oh,
being
lost me.
movie
That was
nerds.
that was
Wild at Heart,
Thank you. Yep.
Lord Dern.
which was based. Yeah, Laura.
yeah,
Dern,
but that wasn't her line. That
which
was
is basically Wizard of Oz.
it
Basically.
was what's her name's line?
Oh.
It was
Laura.
It was
no.
Lara Flynn Boyle.
Yeah, no, it was the other one that was in Boxing Helena,
Lara Flynn Boyle and Sherilyn Finn.
Sherilyn Finn.
I could never get the two of them right.
But they're both in Twin
one
Peaks.
had
They are.
moles.
I know exactly.
Oh, they both had moles.
They both had moles.
Probably.
They both had brown hair. they
Everyone
both
had a mole in the
the-
90s, thanks to Madonna.
Well, I think it was thanks to Cindy Crawford. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah, that's right.
tomato, I suppose. Oh.
Okay, guys, I got this one movie here. It looks pretty interesting. It's called Four-Way Rooms. The box is delightful. I think I might go check that out.
Sure. I mean, why not, right? Why not?
You know, and I'm gonna get that over the top for my grandson. Maybe he'll like that.
I think that you'll distract him with the movie Over the Top while you go watch Four-Way Rooms.
That sounds lovely. I'll
Doesn't
do
it?
that. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna go home now and get out of the streets. It's getting crazy out there.
It really is. I just saw lots of
There's
cops. so
police and there's ladies with the tops off. It was crazy.
be careful out there, Mildred.
Okay, bye, doll.
Bye. Oh, she really is the cutest. I just adore her.
She's nice. She's so nice.
Oh, she is nice. All right. Well, I mean,
Well, Charlene, did we twist your arm? Are you gonna get this guy? Give it a shot.
Yeah, I think I'll be renting at 4 rooms, please.
Awesome. Wonderful.
not Mildred's version, right?
No.
The real one with like
Yeah.
the
Well, I
tear
paid attention to what you said, 4 ways or the 4 rooms. I'll take
Yeah.
the 4 rooms,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. There
How
you
much
go.
is that going to set me back?
Oh, rental fees these days.
There you go.
Just remember to rewind it before you bring it back.
I think y'all are just the friendliest bunch ever.
Oh, thanks. Bye, Charlene.
Bye.
I fell asleep back there for a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll be on my way. That cocktail kind of got to me a little bit.
I can tell. You should apologize to the janitor on your way out
Have
the
you
door.
You seen my girlfriend? She's walking around here. And she might have been a little bit intoxicated, and she had her top was off.
She passed by the window outside.
Is she?
Definitely.
I hope she settled down. I didn't saw the police outside earlier. I'm gonna go see if I can find her.
Hope you can make bail.
No, what? No. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm telling you, the
Yeah.
people in our neighborhood.
It's a great neighborhood. It's
It
a
really
great
is.
neighborhood.
It really is.
Well, let's lock it up. Let's get out of here.
I think we did our job today. I
think
we
so.
did it really well.
We did. It was nice.
Yeah.
We touched some people.
We did touch some people, but not in a creepy way.
No. All right. Let's lock this shit up. Adios.
Oh, good night.